Alright, we're back. Just right where we left off. Alright, deal. So then it's settled. Yep, and she is our companion of this game, like Fee, Fi, Fofum, and King of Red Lions, and Line Deck, and Minna, you know, etc., and of course Navi, whatever. Link is like, alright, whatever. Alright, so as Deku Link, you have this nifty little ability, which doesn't really have much use in the game overall, which lets you like float about. And you can't actually go for that long. You can stay up in the air indefinitely if you don't move, but if you're like flying around the places, then you'll eventually fall. Like, let's see, normally I'd be going down, but since I'm like standing in one place, I'm not. So, let's go open up this treasure chest over here. And we get Deku Nuts, which are also extremely useless. And honestly, Deku Link in general is completely useless after you stop being him. I have to go behind this one. But what you can do with the things is basically just like drop them. And it stuns enemies pretty much. I think it's useful in like one area and no other areas after that. And you know, this is basically the tutorial. She's telling us that we can lock onto things from a distance to talk to it or examine it or whatever. So let's fly over to this mysterious little tree here. Huh. It's looks like a Deku person, huh? That's certainly something. Looks kind of sad. This will be more interesting later in the game when we see some stuff happen, but we'll wait till then. Whoa! Alright, so now we're in here, and we can never go back to there again. This is locked forever. Where in the world could we be? So let's just go up here, and hey look, here's the door. Why don't we go out this door? Whoop. Well, who's this fella right here? Looks a little bit chipper. He's got a lot of masks on him. Well, this is actually the Happy Mask Salesman, who also happened to be in Ocarina of Time, where he would trade you masks. And they were pretty much all useless except for one, which was also actually kind of useless, but more useful than the other useless masks because you could talk to Gossip Stones. And he's been following us apparently. Somehow he got over those ledges without a Deku, whatever, without being a Deku. But he's going to return us to our former self, and we can get back the Ocarina of Time. And in exchange, he wants us to get the Majora's Mask back from the Skull Kid. And he's a little bit jittery there. A little bit disconcerting. And we have exactly 3 days to get it, or he'll leave. Now, him leaving isn't actually the only reason that we have to do it in 3 days. There's a much more concerning reason as to why we have to get it in 3 days. And we will see that after Tattle stops talking to us. Yeah, how are we gonna do that in only 3 days? It sounds almost impossible. It would be like as if we had to use some sort of time-traveling power to do this, but that would just be plain silly. Anyways... Oh, you fucking... Damn it. That we got attacked by that little doggy who hates Deku kids for some reason. Oh, fuck. Anyways, the main reason that we have to watch out for 3 days is that right there. That big scary rock in the sky, which is the fucking moon. And it is going to fall in 3 days. So yeah, it's a bit more alarming that we have to get this done. You think Link could just, you know, hey Link, why don't you just get your ocarina and get the fuck out of here? Well, Link is a cool kid, and he will not allow that. So first things first, we need to go over to these steps right here. Because we want to visit the Great Fairy, but we can't actually do anything at the Great Fairy. We're going to the laundry pool, and we are... You know, there's a little froggy here, just jumping all over the place. Anyways, we are going to get this. We missed. Horribly. That was... How did that even happen? Yes, we're getting this little fairy. It looks a lot different than any fairy in all of Zelda. I guess they were trying to be different. Yes, and we need to take this little fairy to the Great Fairy, because it is actually the Great Fairy itself, but split into a whole bunch of different pieces. Now, thankfully, in Clocktown, we don't have to find every single piece, because all of them except for one is at the Great Fairy skeleton. But later we will have to find other Great Fairies, where we will have to search high and low for all the little pieces. And here we have North Clocktown. There's a little balloon with you know, the Majora's Mask on it. I don't know if Skull Kid just put that there, just like put a random balloon there. Oh, here we go. Oh god. Fucking Tingle. Dear Lord. He's 35 years old, he thinks he's a fairy, so he's prancing around in these little tights. And, he sells us maps. Yeah, sure. Let's buy the Clocktail map. Yeah, we got a map now. Now we're getting somewhere. Yeah. Hulu-limpa! These are magic words that Tingle created himself. Don't steal them! I don't want to incur your wrath, so I don't think we will steal them. So let's go in here to the Great Fairy's Fountain. Oh no, the Great Fairy! Yeah, it's broken up into little pieces. So let's return this fairy to the pieces. Boom! And here... Oh dear God! Dear Lord. Cone tits. Yeah, I always thought the Great Fairy was really, really hideous. I know this was made by a Japanese developer, and like all this like makeup and shit is meant to be like beautiful in, you know, culture and whatever. But when I was a kid, I thought this was the most horrifying thing I ever seen. And she is the Great Fairy of Magic, and she will give us magic power. Alright. And now that we have magic abilities, we can do all kinds of things. Most of these things we won't be able to do until much later in the game, but as a Deku scrub, we can blow bubbles. For some reason, you need magic to blow bubbles, but, yes, we can blow bubbles, which have minor uses at this point in the game, and absolutely zero use later. So yeah, you can, yeah, that's, yeah. That's some bubbles, alright. And, that's the 10-minute mark, actually, so let's end it here. Fuck you, Great Fairy.